You know, Virgo, there's nobody in life that can be more cruel to you than you. And that's just not a Virgo thing. That's an everybody thing. And my lovely, lovely Virgos, you get me cozy comfy right now because I'm cold. Can I just share briefly for a second with you guys? I am in Daytona Beach, Florida, and I'm freezing my ass off. I had to turn off my air conditioner. What the fuck is wrong with this world? I live in San Diego, same damn thing. You know that nice sweater I have? I had to leave it at home. But like, I'm like, what is going on in my life that I can be in San Diego and Daytona Beach, Florida, and I am fucking cold. I don't care if it's December, y'all. This is just not justifiable to me. Oh my goodness. So let's get into your reading. I thank you for indulging me for that brief second, but that's why I'm wearing this like big cozy sweater, because I'm so cold. Hold on. Okay, I had a naughty puppy that I had to contend with. I'm looking at you. You know, there's nobody who is worse to us than ourselves. That's just the damn truth. Oh my God, because we know exactly the things to say to us to make us feel like crap about ourselves. The Achilles heels, we're constantly clicking away at them. It's horrible. It's horrible, man. Especially when shit happened in the past. You know, and maybe we would have liked things to be different. Okay? I get it. But ultimately, that's not the reason. They didn't work out that way, right? And there's nothing that we can do to go back and change. That's the truth. So relinquishing that control and relinquishing that tether to the maybe, what if, but the possibility is, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. And yet we find ourselves constantly doing it to ourselves. You know, questioning ourselves, questioning the validity of who we are because of something that we might kind of sort of be disappointed in ourselves for. I got these cards. I'm a flat out say I laughed my ass off because these cards indicate sort of a bookishness when it comes to love. They indicate sort of researching or trying to understand what you love or how to love, or kind of like sort of investigating like what works for you in love. And then this is what really cracked me up: childhood innocence, innocent like and innocent desires, or sort of like kind of like trying to balance out your heart with your brain, being very bookish and being sexually innocent. And I was like, who the fuck are they talking about? Because I know my motherfucking Virgos. I have so many Virgo best friends, it's ridiculous. And y'all's freaks. Okay, you are. You're not outward freaks, but you freaks. There's no way. I was like, who is that talking about? Because they are not talking about Virgo when they're talking about sexual innocence. I'm just busting your balls. No, to be honest with you, I do think it is an innocence. And it is an innocence because so many times I feel like you have to try extra hard and go extra hardcore. Yes, you're sincerely interested in sensuality, but it's also a sense of feeling like you got to impress people somehow. And there is an underlying innocence to it all, and that is the emotional innocence. That innocence of how badly I really want to be loved and understood, and how badly I don't want to be judged, and how badly I want to be accepted and just loved for who I am. And you give so much through being loyal to people, through being on time for people, through being reliable for people. You know, you're the one that shows up with the fucking baskets of food, and you'll cook people fucking dinner, and you'll make sure that they have the extra blankets that they need, and you're goddamn always fucking there for the things that are pedantic and maybe boring, but you know what? Everybody fucking needs them, and you got it all covered. And if you have a Virgo in your life, it's all covered, and it's so easy to take advantage of all the things that Virgos give you. And that's when Virgos start to really feel, it's like you don't even get pissed off about it. You just start to feel like, well, what can I do? I have to one up it. I have to try to be something that I'm not in order to get the attention that I already deserve for being who I am. Okay? And I get it, man. I get it. And ultimately, you got to choose you, Virgo. You got to be the one that sticks up and says, if you cannot see me for everything that I am, because maybe I do want to stay home at night. And maybe that's, I'm not going to want to go to the concert with you. I'd rather be at home watching the concert on television. And maybe I do like Christmas, and I love to make the same old cookies that my fucking grandmother made. And I would rather watch the fight at home than go see it live in Las Vegas. We got liquor here if we want to get drunk and party. I'd rather everybody come over my house than have to go out to some like public place where I don't know the surroundings. If that gets to you, if that bothers you, then ultimately, not that Virgos don't ever go out of their house, but it's like, what do I got to be enough? And it's not, whenever you're watching this video, whenever this video is coming to you, that's the kind of energy that you've been questioning, like the kind of questions that are in your heart and in your mind right now. What do I have to be enough? And I'm going to tell you right now, baby, you ain't got to be nothing but yourself to be enough. But here's the thing. How do you convince yourself of that? Because that's what you're kind of feeling right now. You're kind of feeling like, well, why am I not being paid attention to? Or why is somebody not appreciating me the way that they should be appreciating me? Well, you know what? And it's almost like looking and saying, like, maybe you're keeping your eye on somebody. And this is sort of what I feel for a lot of you. Like you're looking back at a past relationship, like, why didn't that person appreciate me? Why didn't that person know that I was good enough for them? And even if you're in a really happy relationship now, you're doing this to yourself. I hope that it's ultimately for the purpose of learning or finally being able to let go. But it's so self-torturous right now. This sense of, why didn't they see me? Why didn't they acknowledge, everything that I was? What is it that I could have done better? Like there's still a question in your heart about something, even if it's a job. Even if it was like somebody like a position that let you go, like there's just this sense of, what is it that I missed? Now, okay, part of this is kind of realizing that all parts of you exist. So it's not just the great parts of you or the parts of you that you want to show, but also those insecure parts, those parts that kind of like eke out and you don't have much control over them. Maybe you didn't want people to see them, but they saw them anyway. But ultimately, there's just this sense of, there's nobody on this world that's perfect, but you have to own your shadow side, because that's what this is. It's like, this is the shadow side. This is seeking balance through owning the shadow side and saying, yeah, everybody has light and dark to their character, and I don't have to run away from mine. I don't have to look or appear perfect on the outside. And for you, imperfect would be those parts of you that are not in control. They're kind of chaotic, to be honest with you. Those parts of you that maybe lead to the most fun like you have ever had in your life, but at the same time kind of scare you about yourself, and you don't trust it from the outside world. So why would you trust it from the inside world? There's just this sense of really kind of like, I don't know. It's almost like you compromised your values for somebody. And that's the person who left you vulnerable. Like, or who you were left vulnerable to. Because you saw that there was something about him that you couldn't trust. Or you had a feeling that something was off. But at the same time, it kind of intrigued you. And maybe that's what you take away from this, is learning how to trust your first instincts. And not think that you can change or fix everybody, because you do, and that you will be drained by so many people when you try to like make the lame duck your project. Just that sense of wanting to fix something and wanting to make things better and wanting to help, and ultimately knowing inside of you already knew you were right about somebody. You were right about somebody. I mean, listen, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. Just because you see that there's, something up, doesn't mean that they're a bad person. But it also doesn't mean that they have to be your project. But I know that you want that. You actually believe in the transcendence of people. You actually believe in the cultivation of the human condition. That's kind of what your sign means. It's the virgin who is out of innocence, out of pure innocence, believing in what could be. as opposed to what she sees in front of her. And that's why she's holding the stalk of wheat, you know. She is that which sows. You know, she's that which cultivates. She's that which agriculturally grows things. She is the mother harvest. So it's like you do see the potential in things, but ultimately, do you see the potential in yourself? Just asking, like, do you apply those same strategies to who you are, recognizing and realizing that you deserve the same amount of energy to put into yourself? Because so many times you just like put on this gray sweater, you know, and be like, just throw that shit on and be like, okay. And I know that this is kind of what I'd rather be in right now. Not that you don't know how to dress up. That's not what I'm saying. But that's a show. That's not the same as sort of understanding that you are good enough and that you really believe that you're good enough and that you see that. I just feel like there's this 11:11 awakening. There's this heartache that's still happening inside of you. No, she's being a naughty puppy. Goddess of Oneness. This is a card that says somebody has spotted you, somebody's noticed you, somebody is looking at you from afar, but that you have to let go of an old love and an old way of being. You have to allow yourself to basically allow the past to dissolve, because the past isn't going to get you anywhere. You have to let the past stay in the past and ultimately allow a new start to happen. Somebody has taken notice of you. Maybe it's, you know, it's not evident yet, but somebody has taken notice of you. Somebody does see you for the valuable person that you are, but you may not even acknowledge them or be interested in them because they're boring to you, because they're not a project. Oh my God. Imagine that. Imagine that. Take time to breathe out. Exhale. That means you've gotten way tense. You've gotten your anxiety is taking over. The first thing to do is exhale and then breathe in. The first thing to always, when you feel your life getting chaotic, Virgo, is to get back to your breath. Because your breath is that essence of you. It's that sort of automatic thing that's given to you by God that you can actually have a conversation with and take control over. So it's like you and the universe, science, medicine, whatever you call it, DNA. It's you imposing your will on it, but so you can actually impact or affect an automatic response, like get to the core of who you are. Hold on, I'm sorry. Get to that core of who you are. Don't let your past hold you back. That's what I thought. See, there is something that happened that you are not over with yet. A rejection that made you feel lesser. A rejection that made you feel like you lost, right? That's what's going on right now. And that happened in the past, but ultimately something about that is keeping you, like holding on to that self-doubt, holding on to that, like questioning the value in yourself is actually like holding you back from an opportunity that's actually right there in front of you. That's kind of making you nervous because you're like, yeah, but this past thing didn't work out. And it's almost like you don't open up very well. Once you close doors, you close those freaking doors, and you don't really give second chances because it hurts too much, right? Hold your vision. Adjustments are required. Don't give up on the happiness that you really want. You may have to bend. You may have to turn down roads you didn't expect. You may have to turn off all highways on GPS because there's too many backups and go all back road. But what you ultimately believe in, this idea of your value, that's based in your value and you believing in your value, you got to hold true to that. I mean, it's like set your course. Set your destination, set your goal, but don't set your course, because you're going to have to improvise to get there. Check this one out. I love these cards. This is the Rebel deck, the Rebel Oracle deck. Detox. Drink a smoothie, unfriend that asshole, throw some shit out. That's about letting go of your past, not letting your past affect your future, which it really does seem to be doing. This idea of a diminished sense of self right now, which I will say to you, a lot of people are experiencing. This is not, me shaking my finger at Virgo. A lot of people are calling into question what they thought they knew. Like a lot of signs it's happening to as we get closer and closer to that grand conjunction. Let me try to think what house it's going to be in for you. The grand conjunction. Hold on. I'm going to think about it. 5th house. Dude, I didn't want to take up your time, but I had to think back on the wheel. That grand conjunction that's happening between Saturn and Jupiter that everybody's talking about. It's happening after they move into Aquarius. It's still happening in Sagittarius season. It's happening on the 21st of December, which actually might be eking. I think that's still Sagittarius, but I think it's eking into Capricorn. But ultimately, the zodiac sign that they're in is Aquarius now. I think, this is the 17th. Both of them are officially in Capricorn. Have exited Capricorn. They're in Aquarius now. So there has been a major shift in consciousness, collective consciousness, social consciousness, big worldly, international consciousness with Jupiter and Saturn going into Aquarius. A really major shift in what's right and wrong. And their major conjunction that's happening on the 21st for you guys will be happening in your 5th house. And your 5th house is the house of heart, soul, romantic love, not romantic relationship so much. That's more 7th house, but love, like big love. What do you desire? What do you love? What really is your soul purpose on earth? Courage, your heart chakra. It's all happening for you then. So it's like that. It's natural right now to be questioning yourself and questioning all of those things that kept you or got in your way, those self-defeating beliefs that got in your way of accomplishing your dreams, and really going through and thinking, well, how do it's not about fixing it, because it's not about going back. It's about making sure that it doesn't follow you into the future, that you remedy it now because you're still alive, and there's no such thing as a waste of time. There's no such thing, Virgo. There's a sense of fix it now. Once you realize it, fix it. So whatever was getting in your way then, you destroy those beliefs so that they don't ever get into your way in the future. For all you know, it could impact your children. Oh my God. This is your past influencing your future. It's sort of haunting it. It's sort of holding it back. It's like all you want to do is look to the future, but something in your past is still creeping up and getting to you. And then we have give with gratitude and grace, pulling your whole self in, feeling like if you don't lay yourself on the chopping block and you're not the fucking sacrificial lamb that people are having for dinner, you have not done enough. And that is definitely based on some sort of oppressive energy from the past that drained you, and nothing was ever enough for it. Slow and steady wins the race. It's been happening for a long time. It's stuck with you. It's almost so much a part of you now that you don't question it. So it's kind of insidious. This is Cancerian energy. It's usually really positive energy when it's upright. It's strength, it's self-esteem, it's power. It's learning your power and having emotional stability to basically secure you. But ultimately, I think in the way the cards have fallen here, it's like this has been perpetuated for so long. You almost forgot that anything was wrong, or that it wasn't originally a part of you. It was a part of something that somebody taught you about you, but that's not the same as it being a part of you. And once you realize it, you can get rid of it, because it's actually a catch in your gears, right? So it's not a part. It's not a part of you. It's something that's not supposed to be there. It's clogging you up. Once you take it out, you'll see how smoothly things start to run. Open up to infinite possibilities. So this is open-mindedness. That's what it is. It's open-heartedness. It's wanting to learn. You know, it's having that broad spectrum understanding of life in general, and just being really open to learn and having a really open mindset. That's very important right now. But of course, it's also Aquarius energy, which is a social consciousness. Know your worth. Damn straight, man. This is realize that I can smell like a skunk and still be beautiful. And I can sit here amongst the flowers because ultimately I like flowers. I'm not trying to smell like them. I'm not trying to be like them, but I like them. So I'm going to sit here as my skunky self in the middle of flowers because they're what I like, and I don't have to make sense to anyone. I only have to make sense to myself. Let spirit be your guide. There are messages coming through. Now, ultimately, that may intimidate you a little bit, make you a little bit fearful, or like, what does all this mean? Just take it step by step, write it down. Right? Anytime you know that you're getting an intuitive message, don't block it. Don't try to deny it. Write it down so it's in a form that you can kind of, that's tangible for you, that's palpable for you, something that's more comprehensive. You know, just write it down and start to see the patterns in it. And once you understand it intellectually, ultimately you'll be able to get more comfortable with it and be able to open up to it more and take time out. Yeah. Somebody's really been hitting you hard, bullying you a great deal, putting a lot of pressure on you, backing you into a corner, just sort of an authority figure that's sort of been insufferable right now. And ultimately, there's just a sense of you got to walk away. You really have to like take a second, take a breather. It may not even be an authority figure. It may be you. You know, it may be those aspects of you that are too hard on yourself and push you too hard. This is the time to like kind of step back from that and be like, no, I really can't, because there's actually more important things beneath all that I need to get to. So this is a good time to take some time, Virgo. We can go over to tarot. I'm going to articulate in detail. There's some nitty gritties that we got to get out, and they're only going to come out in tarot. So that link is below, Virgo. Please do join me. Stick around for the angel messages, though, because let's see what comes out straight from the angel's mouth. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, welcome to Born Without Boundaries. Please subscribe to the channel. And then ring that bell so that you get notified when all your favorite content comes up. And I release a new Virgo video, one every week. They are not time sensitive, but a new one comes out every single week, and it comes out every single Friday between the hours of, I think, 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. LA time, Pacific time. Yeah, please do ring that bell and you'll get notified of all the content on this channel. And then join me Monday through Friday. I do a live reading, general reading. So we just sort of like shoot the shit, and it's sort of like a pick-me-up message Monday through Friday over on Instagram. My Instagram profile, born_without_boundaries. So please do join me over there. And then, of course, I've talked about the extended videos. You can subscribe right to that platform as well. That's Born Without Boundaries too. And then you'll get notified and have access to the videos a day or so before the link up here, the link on YouTube comes out. Just an FYI. Okay, whatever else wants to come out for Virgo. Angels, speak up now. I think one card flipped over. I thought it did. I thought it did. I apologize, Virgo. It's been a long week for me. Long story. Love. Doesn't it always come down to that? The heart of love is the heart of creation. All is possible through love. All is worthwhile for love. May all you think and feel reflect love's eternal truth. And I just saw 2424, so you could be dealing with a divine counterpart. Fear. I, Archangel Michael, am here to help you through the present time. I love you. I protect you and keep you safe. Trust that all is well. Accept my love and allow it to dissolve your fear. So you could, Archangel Michael is protecting you, and often he works through people that are earth angels so he can work through them. So if people have been trying to help you, it's because Archangel Michael is leading them to help you. Let them help you. Let them love you. You really do need to put down some of that burden you've picked up. Imagination, or imagine, clearly visualize the life you want. Feel it in your heart and soul, and so it will be. The power of your mind, Virgo, ruled by Mercury, it is extremely powerful. Sacred space, we, your guardian angels, surround you with emerald, gold, and rose pink light. Surrender your concerns and worries and enter this sacred space of love and healing. And last but not least, you have 2 archangels. Darn, Archangel Metatron. I am your link between heaven and earth, between your humanity and your divinity. I am here to help you heal the conflict that exists between your heart and mind. Feel me in your heart and thoughts. Through oneness, there is love. Let's go over to tarot to find out what the heck that means. I'll see you guys over there. Link is below.